All right, Nicole, you should be able to unmute yourself.
Yes, hello.
Hi. I'm super excited. Okay, so let's just jump right in and tell us your story.
All right, so I get really distracted. I'm going to turn my phone over. Hi, everyone. I'm Nicole. I'm a presidential diamond. I joined It Works about 4 years ago, actually. I joined 4 years ago, and I was a full-time dental hygiene student. And my goal when I joined was about $300 a month, and all I wanted was some extra gas money. I'm sorry if you've heard my story a million times, but we're going to dig in here. I wanted about $300 a month for gas money. I was commuting to school and commuting to clinicals, and they sent me all over the map. And there was times when I had to drive like 3 hours a day, like an hour and a half there, an hour and a half back. And my gas tank was just like, I swear I was filling my tank like 3 times a week. It was awful. So my goal was just some extra gas money for clinicals. And a huge part about my story is when I started dental hygiene school, they told us that it was so demanding that we weren't going to be able to have another job. So the dental hygiene school that I went to, it's the hardest one in Connecticut, very competitive, and people try for years to get into it. So once you get into it, you are like done for 2 years. That is your life. You are ready to do this. And they were like, there's no way you can have a job and pass this whole program. But I was like, well, that's not going to work for me because I still need to, put gas in my tank and do whatever. Luckily, I was living at home, so I was rent free, but I still had like bills. So I was full-time dental hygiene school, and I was working at TD Bank on the weekends. And I still, between Friday and Sunday working at TD Bank, I was still working 20 hours a week. So full-time hygiene school, which is way more than a 40-hour-a-week job. That was rough. Plus 20 hours a week at TD Bank, and then I picked up this. So it doesn't matter who tells you you can't do something. Like the fact that they told me I shouldn't have a job and that I wouldn't be able to pass if I had a job, I was like, okay, watch me get 2 and watch me still pass. Like it was almost like it was competition. So that's just a huge part. It doesn't matter if you're in school or if you're working full time or whatever, you can make this work if your dreams and you're like ready to push yourself enough to do it. I then graduated dental hygiene school and started working full time as a dental hygienist. I was working about 35 hours a week as a hygienist, and then I was a teacher's pet. So the school called me back and asked me to teach clinicals there too. So I was about 35 hours a week dental hygiene and about 15 to 20 hours a week teaching dental hygiene. So that was, you guys do the math, 50-ish, 60-ish hours a week that I was working with gloved hands in people's mouths. There was no time for me to be on my phone during those times. Like it wasn't like a desk job where I can kind of turn and, do a little this, do a little that. I had patience, I had dirty hands, and I was just working. So that's another thing, you guys. It doesn't matter what your jobs are. It doesn't matter how much you work. It's just that drive. So I know I read some of the questions, so I know I'm going to get more into that in the future, I guess, in the next couple of questions. But so yeah, my goals turned from just wanting $300 for gas money to I hate working 50 to 60 hours a week and I want to cut back one day. So as you guys develop in this company, your goals are going to change. So make sure you're always growing your mindset with self-development so that you are growing with yourself, because my goals went from $300 a month to, okay, I need to cut back a day of work because I hate saying no to my friends when they want to go to the beach. So my goals turned into that. And then I was able to cut back one day at work. I was able to cut back 2 days of work. I went diamond, I think 7 or 8 months into the business. And then Craig and I bought our first home right after I went diamond. And then we got engaged, went double diamond, went triple diamond, paid for our wedding in cash, just some crazy stuff. And then I was still working full time between my dental hygiene and my teaching. I was just at about 40 hours a week. I was working full time and was still a triple diamond, and I was in the top 150 income earners, still working full time. So it's, again, just a matter of deciding what you want to do, deciding what you want to do with your time, and deciding that, okay, I always laugh at myself when I say this, but sorry for those of you who have heard me say this before, but we sacrifice our time when you're in college and when you're young to go out to the bar, right? You go to work all day, or you would go to school. In my case, I would go to school all day. I'd go to clinicals all night. I'd get out at 9:45. I'd fly home in my car. I'd jump in the shower and I'd go to the bar until 2 in the morning. And then I'd go home and I'd sleep for like 3 hours. And then I'd wake up, go to school, do it all again, and go to the bar. Like, if we're willing to sacrifice all our sleep to do fun stuff like that, you should be willing to sacrifice your sleep now so you can have a great payout in the future. Because now I get to sleep whenever I want to because I could do this full time. But just think about the things that, whether that's in your like past, you're not really like that anymore, because I'm not anymore, but I used to sacrifice so much sleep to have fun. So guys, really figure out what you're really doing with your time and where you can sacrifice. Then we wanted to move. We were sick of Connecticut. We moved to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. And I again laugh at myself with this too. I'm only 27 and I bought 3 houses. Okay, whatever. Like, I'm out of control. My husband's like, the next time we move, we're done. You're moving on your own. But we moved to Myrtle Beach. We bought this awesome house that I absolutely loved. And then, again, I started evolving. And now we're in like our dream house that we looked at 2 years ago that we couldn't afford 2 years ago. So now Craig and I both work full-time from home. I do not practice dental hygiene anymore, although I do keep up my degree because I worked very, very hard for that. I do not practice dental hygiene anymore. But I feel like I do, because when my friends come to visit, I have to clean their teeth on my couch in my house. So I still keep up my skills. Craig was a mechanic. He does this full-time with us now, and we just get to hang out all day and work the business and own our life. So it's pretty incredible. But I know there's more questions to come, so I'm going to stop talking because it's all going to make sense.
I love that. Wait, so this was not on the list, but so Craig does the business too. So what does that look like? What does he do?
So I always say Craig is the man behind the scenes and I'm the face. So he helps me with messaging and with following people. And then like a few reports that I just don't like doing, not because they're hard, but because I'm just don't like doing them. So Craig helps me with all kind of like the back office stuff. And then I'm really the face, and everyone asks, so he messages for you? Yes, but he did not message for me until we both went full time. So I was still working my full-time job, triple diamond in top 150, doing it all myself. He did not start helping me till later on. So that is a big key point. Guys, don't think that you can't, get to triple diamond because you don't have someone to message for you, because that's not true.
Does he, do you build an account for him then? Like, you have an account for him?
Yeah, so Craig's a double diamond.
Awesome. I did not know that. See, learning new things. I'm going to go a little out of order with this just because like you were talking about school and all of that stuff. So, one of the biggest things that we hear all the time is like, I'm so busy. When we're asking our team, like, what did you do today? And everyone's like, oh, I was so busy. Like, I didn't get anything done. Or like, I'm so burnt out. I'm tired. I'm having a hard time fitting this in, all of those things. So you literally went triple top 150, while working full time, planning a wedding, buying a house, like doing all the things. So kind of like, what did your day to day look like with that? And how were you really, like maximizing your time that you did have to work your business, so that you were able to be super productive with it? Because obviously going triple, going top 150, that's a lot of work. It doesn't just fall into your lap. Like, you busted ass for that.
So again, this comes back to really figuring out what's important. And like I said, we sacrifice so much to have fun. You should be making the same sacrifices for your goals. So what I did when I was crazy busy like that, I was like, what does 30 minutes of sleep really do for me? I would wake up 15 minutes before I had to. And I mean, I would wake up. I wouldn't like set my alarm 15 minutes earlier than I had to and just like snooze it and be like, yeah, I woke up 15 minutes earlier. No, I would wake up, like my alarm went off. I got up, I did what I had to do, and I would sit there for 15 minutes and I would do what I have to do. And then I would go to bed 15 minutes later. Even if my eyes were closing, I'd stand up and I'd do some jumping jacks and I'd get some messages out. this is like always corny, but Brittany Hayes always uses this phrase, you need to just work your business into the nooks and crannies of your time, of your day. So like, if you like, you're going to have 15 minutes in the morning because you're going to wake up a little bit earlier and get stuff done. And then when you're walking to class, I would work when I was walking to class. Be careful because it is kind of dangerous, but I would work while I was walking to class. And honestly, I would, the second, if the teacher like ran out of the room to go sharpen a pencil or something like that, like I would pick up my phone and I get 5 messages out. If it's only 5 messages, it's 5 messages. It's better than 0. Literally any time I was working this business because I was sacrificing then for what I knew what was coming. Lunch breaks at work, once I wasn't in school, lunch breaks at work, I loved my coworkers. We were like family. But it came to a point where I was like, okay, I have an hour of lunch time. Am I going to sit there and gossip with Julie in the back room, or am I going to get stuff done? And I would go back there and I'd spend 10 minutes with her because I don't want anyone to not enjoy life. Like I loved hanging out with my coworkers, but I would limit it. So I would go back and I'd eat super quick and I'd spend 10 minutes with them because face it, you worked all morning and it sucked and you want to hang out with your friends and then you got to go back to work and it's going to suck. Like I'm not saying shut yourself out and don't have any friends. I would just figure out my time. So I would go and I would hang out with my girls for 10 minutes on my lunch break. And then I'd be like, all right, ladies. And I'd either go sit in my dental hygiene in my patient chair, or I would go sit in my car and I would just do stuff, income producing activities. It's very hard to balance this job with life and to realize that you work off social media, but scrolling through social media and not doing income producing activities is not working your business. And that's a hard thing to get. And it took me a while to understand that. Like, okay, I'd be like, okay, I work from Facebook. So like, and then you watch like a giraffe giving birth for like 30 minutes and you're like, come on, like, let's hurry it up. And then like, you're watching dogs, like riding Roombas and shit like that. Like you work off Facebook, but that's not an income producing activity. So it's very easy to get caught up in stuff like that. Just make sure you're doing income producing activities. So I would go sit in my car on my lunch break. I'd spend 10 minutes with them and I'd spend the other 40 to 50 minutes in my car or in my chair working this business. Sorry, the dogs might bark for a second. Okay. Okay, so that was that. When I finished my day at work, I would not get in my car and drive. I would get in my car and I'd sit there for 10 minutes. And I know you're like, oh my God, I just want to get home. That 10 minutes right there is going to pay off so much in the future, I promise. Little stuff like that, you guys really have so much time. I don't care if you work 12-hour days, there is still so much time for you to work this business. If you could pee, you could follow. If you could pee, you could message. Whenever you go into the bathroom at work, get something done. It's just working it into the little times, the little pockets of time you have, and being really intentional with your work and not just scrolling through social media because you work on social media. I had something else in my head that I wanted to say, but now you guys are going to learn that about me. I'm like,
That's okay. I'm going to ask you something just based off what you were just saying. So you talked a lot during this, and cause I know that if my leader was asking these questions, she would want to ask this. She's thinking it right now as she's watching this, but you talked a lot about working your business, sending out messages, following up, all of those things. When you have a triple diamond team under you, you have a lot of leaders under you. You're training a lot of newbies. So how were you balancing work life and working your personal business and training your newbies and working with your leaders?
So I was this was hard. If you're trying to balance all this, don't feel like you're broken because you can't, because it's very, very, very hard. But I really utilized group chats and layered leadership. And I know that was another question.
Hop right into that. Go right into that layered leadership while we're here.
You have to treat, like, I'm trying to think of the best way to say this. You have to treat people, even if they're very new and you just feel that trait out of them, like that they're going to be in this and like they're a leader, you have to just run with them and figure out who your core people are and then put them in a group chat. And that's how people are going to learn how to be leaders. And it's okay if they don't get an answer right away. It's okay. Like, you learn by trial and error. No one was put into this and they're like, you're going to be a presidential diamond because you're great, figure it out. Like, that's not how it worked. Like, I was fun fact about me, my enroller quit right when I joined. So I learned everything I know through Facebook through Facebook, watching people that I wanted to be like. I just mimicked what they did. But through YouTube and all that kind of stuff. So make sure you guys are utilizing that stuff. But honestly, just get people together that you think are going to be leaders, and then it's just going to happen. You cannot overthink it. You're going to think some people are going to be leaders and they're going to end up quitting tomorrow, and it's okay. And you're going to think some people aren't really good at this and they're going to be your next ambassadors. Like, you cannot overthink this kind of stuff because it will drive you crazy. You just have to, when you have those pockets of time, just make sure that you are working really closely with people that you think are going to be leaders. And your newbies, this is something that always helped me. Your newbies, I always have a newbie to Ruby group chat so that new people are together and they feel, I don't know, like comfortable. Like, they're not the only new people. And all of us were in the same spot that they were in, but put new people together and you'll be able to train them as one instead of 5 separates. If you find a video that you're like, oh, I really want my new distributor to watch this. Well, if they're in a newbie group chat, you guess what? You send it to one group chat instead of to 5 separate people. Or if you're a baller and you enroll more than that, to set 10 different people. Like, there's people who enroll 30 distributors a month. Imagine all of that. Like, if you group people together, they can learn with each other. They can vibe with each other. They become accountability partners with each other effortlessly. But my biggest piece of advice with like layered leadership and stuff is figuring out who you're going to run with, and you need to treat them like babies even when they're triple diamonds. Celeste?
Hey.
Hi.
Presidential diamond, but I still work with her so closely. Like, it's not like once someone hits diamond or something, like they're on their own. Like, I talk to my diamonds half the time more than I talk to anyone else. You just have to kind of, I don't know if I'm really giving you guys the most information that I could, but just don't overthink it, because that's what's going to bring you down. You just have to work with people and become friends with people, because that is the key to layered leadership, is being friends with people, because they're going to want to talk to you all the time. And that's how you're going to train them effortlessly, honestly. Like, my team, we're like family. Like, I'm not even kidding. So just become friends with people, because when people feel that there's a friendship there and it's not just a business, oh, she only wants me to be a diamond because she's going to make out. You know what I mean? When you become friends with people, it's going to, I can't even tell you, it's going to effortlessly happen. You're just going to run together.
That's so good. I like had something I wanted to ask and then I lost it.
Yeah, welcome to
my life. If it comes back to me, I'll let you know. The newbie to Ruby chat that you do. So is that something you do for your personally enrolled, or is that like a chat that you have opened up for your team? I know a presidential team is very large. So that could be a huge chat.
I personally just do my personally enrolled. But I think that comes down to how many you enroll. If I made a newbie to Ruby chat with people I enrolled and only people Celeste enrolled, it would be out of control, because I enroll a lot of distributors and so does she. So it comes down to, if you don't enroll that many, then there's not going to be enough to create that community. So link up with someone and create that. But if you enroll a lot of distributors like I do, then my group alone, it's a really strong group of girls in my newbie to Ruby. And once they hit Ruby, they move on to a diamond chat.
That's so good.
And it's really a newbie to Ruby group. I personally love them, because it's really easy to get in there and be like, who is struggling with posting? And they're pretty much all going to say me. And then we're going to work on that. And then, sometimes I'm like, oh, here's a really good post. If you haven't posted this yet, here's a caption. And I just send it, and then they post it. And it's a really, really good way to stay organized with new distributors. and help them realize that it's okay that they have no idea what the F they're doing. Like, it's okay. Because there's
there.
that have no idea what they're doing.
I still don't know what I'm doing. Like almost 5 years later, I'm like, I don't freaking know.
It's just a really good community to have that. So if you enroll a lot of distributors, I recommend doing it on your own. And if you don't, totally fine. Pair up with someone or make a whole team one. It doesn't matter. But I wouldn't recommend at one time having more than like 25 people in it.
Okay.
Because then it just gets like, too many
like
people are talking, people are muting the chat, and then they're not benefiting anything out of it.
Well, that's like my thing. So we have like a post in story idea chat that we have, and literally we only just send stories and post prompts in it, and like, do not talk in this chat.
Okay, yep.
Talking. Like, we don't talk to each other. You just go in there to find those things, and like, if you have questions, you ask them in the team chat. One last question about just how you do that. So if you're putting your newbies in that chat, like obviously you're placing your distributors. So are they also working with the leader you're placing them under in a chat too?
In a
separate chat?
Can you say that again?
So like, say you signed me up today and you placed me under Celeste. Would you put me in a group chat with Celeste?
A texting group chat.
A texting group chat, and then you put me in the Newbie to Ruby chat on Facebook. Got it. Okay. All right. Let's see. What else did I have on here?
And I'm super like basic with it when I introduce. Like, if I were to introduce you to Celeste, I would just say like, "Hey, this is Celeste. She's another person that's always here to help you." I don't really get into it because they're like, "What?" Like, I don't really get into it. And then, then in a couple days when you would like follow up and see how they're doing, like I would just send it in the group chat and be like, "Hey, is there anything I could help with?" And then they'll connect like effortlessly, but I don't make it like she's someone that's above you and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Here's Celeste. She's just another person to help you.
Perfect. Love that. We do the same exact thing. Where are my notes? My phone locked. Okay. Okay. So I've heard you talk about this before, but probably not everyone has heard you talk about this before. But I know that like you didn't grow up struggling. You weren't this like person who had like a super shitty life and like found this business and it saved you type of thing. And I think that's like a big misconception a lot of the times, especially with newbies. They're like, I don't know what to talk about. Like, I haven't made any money. I like am not in like a bad financial situation. I just want more money, like I just need some extra money. So can you just kind of like talk about like why you felt like maybe you need, because I think I've heard you say on Zooms before that like in the beginning you felt like almost you had to fit into that mold of like a struggling college student, even though you weren't. And like why that's just such a huge misconception, and being like authentic from the get-go is important.
Yep. Okay. I love talking about this. I get chills because like this is like my favorite thing. I love talking to new distributors about like how to post, because at the end of the day, you can tattoo this on your arm if you need to. People relate more to struggle than they do to success. Some people like can't afford to like put gas in their car and stuff, and then they see that I have a convertible Mercedes and they're like, cool, like have fun driving your car. Mine is broken down and I've been taking the bus because I can't even put gas in my car. So don't feel like you need to be this big successful person to be successful in this business, because we all started at square one. But like she was saying, I didn't grow up struggling. I grew up with a very successful family. My mom's a nurse. My dad owned a $1 million business and he barely graduated high school. We grew up pretty good. And I want each and every one of you on here to understand that although I grew up really, really good, and I had a job, I mean, guys, I was making $74 an hour as a dental hygienist. Like, I love money and I wanted more of it. I didn't need to have $0 in my bank account to want this business. You can have $1 million in your bank account and still want this business, because guess what? You can make that $2 million. So don't get in the mindset that only people struggling need this. Because at the end of the day, I didn't think I needed this. I just wanted $300. And then I realized that I needed this because I hated what I was doing. And I'm way too young to do this for the rest of my life. But you don't have to fit the mold of being a broke college student. Like, oh my gosh, what is going on here, guys? Something's happening. Okay, we're good. I felt like that when I first joined. I was like, okay, I have to run with I had no money. I was a broke college student, blah, blah, blah. Bottom line is I had like $12,000 in my savings account when I joined this. I wasn't a broke college student. I wasn't struggling. I just wanted more money. So that's not something that we should be scared to talk about if you're in that situation, because at the end of the day, I joined this. There's people just like me out there that want this business. There's people just like me. And if they're going to work like I'm going to work, then I want them on my team. So you don't have to be scared, and we always say people relate more to struggle than they do to success. But that's what I mean with posting. Like, don't feel like you have to have all these fancy things. Like putting $20 in your bank account is going to go a long way for some people. Because at the end of the day, I remember why I joined. I joined because my enroller said because of this business she ran through social media, she was paying for her rent with that money. And then everything she made working at her jobs was extra. And this bitch was traveling all the time. And I'm like, okay, she's a year younger than me. What am I doing that she's not doing? So it was rent money for me. That's what I wanted to join for. She's like, I'm making $1,200 a month from my phone, which pays for my rent. And I'm like, okay, I live with my mom. And if I could get $1,200 a month from my phone, that'd be cool. I'll get an apartment. And I was like, yeah, I was still in my party stage. So I was like, that'll be a lot of fun, So just don't get into this mold that only people who are struggling need this business, because at the end of the day, Brandon Walsh worked for like NASA. Cammie's Mark's daughter, like she wasn't struggling, but now look at her. So don't feel like you have to fit into that mold, because you don't, because there's someone just like you. And if there's someone just like me out there that's going to have my work ethic in this business, I am going to find them. I'm going to find them. So don't think that you have to say, my mom used to get so upset with me. My mom's not even on social media, but like all of her friends must have been like, oh, look at Nicole's post today, me. And I would post like, I remember, not being able to do this, this, and this because my bank account. And my mom was like, dude, you were in Jamaica last week. Like, what are you talking about? Like, stop. She's like, you come off like you're struggling and that me and daddy don't provide for you. Like, she's like, your post sounds so sad, but that's not your life. And that really stuck out to me. And I was like, you're right, because I still joined this, even though I wasn't struggling like that. So why am I acting like that? Because there are people that aren't struggling that still need this. So don't feel like you have to lie. And if you are struggling, then work with that, because there's people just like you out there. But be yourself, because if you can find people that are just like you, then that's when you're going to link up and take over.
Yes, I love that. And that's like exactly what I wanted to just hit on, was like, just be authentic and be yourself. Because if you joined this business, then there are people who are just like you that will want to join this business.
I remember when I first started, I would say to people like, yeah, I didn't have $99 either. Like, I had to open a credit card for it. And I'm like, I had that in my savings account, and now I just embrace it. And I'm like, listen, I can help you brainstorm ways to find that. I don't lie to people anymore. I used to lie to people just to make them feel comfortable. And you have such a life-changing opportunity in the palm of your hands. You don't have to lie to anyone. If you're excited and you're fired up about it, it doesn't matter what their situation is on the other side of the phone. If you're fired up, they are going to join you. So it doesn't matter. You don't have to lie. You don't have to change who you are, because people want you to be authentic.
Yeah, that's so good. I was going to say something again, then I lost it. Mom, oh yeah. That's like what, so all the time, like this is one thing that I hear all the time. Like, I feel like if I had kids, like I could be more successful because I could relate to moms. Or like if I was in college, then like I could do this because like I could relate to the college kids. When I joined this business, I didn't have kids and I wasn't in college. I had neither of those things. And like I still managed to make it work. So just embrace your story and just talk about you in your life because that's what people are going to relate to,
And even if you're not a mom, that doesn't mean moms aren't going to be attracted to your posts. Like, stop with the excuses. Like, stop. It comes down to excuses and making up like, okay, well, since I'm not a mom, I'm never going to sign up a mom, and moms are really good at this, so I'm not going to be good at this, so I should probably just quit. Like, stop. Just like, it's ridiculous, guys. There's so many excuses out there. You just have to get over them, get out of your own head, because at the end of the day, you can make excuses or you can make money, but you can't make both. So if you want to keep lying to yourself and saying you don't fit the mold of Cassie Westland, you don't look like Cassie, you don't look like Nyara, you don't live by the beach, like it's all bull crap. It's just you and your work ethic. So get down to work. And it doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter the life you have. You have an amazing $1 million opportunity in the palm of your hands, and you need to share it with everyone. And that's all that it is.
Preach it. I don't live by the beach. I live in the freaking woods in Connecticut.
This is my biggest thing. Like everyone says like, I can't be successful because I don't live by the beach. I don't have blue pictures. Cassie, Nyara, Emily, they all went Ambassador Diamond living in Connecticut. Like, the oceans in Connecticut look like puddles in my backyard. Like,
isn't it crazy how freaking many ambassadors we have from Connecticut?
Yeah, that's
a little ass state.
Like, get out of your own head, because there is so much. Oh gosh, we're gonna have to move on because I could go on for a long time with this.
Yeah. Anyways, me and Nicole are both from Connecticut. She left. I stayed here. That's what happens when you marry someone with 3. Whatever, Danielle. I know you left. Everybody left. I would leave too, but I can't. I'm stuck here for life. Okay, let's see. All right. So what are 5 of the biggest things you've been able to do since joining this business that you would not have been able to do if it was not for this business?
Everything. Okay. Well, I never would have been able. Okay. This is the number one thing. This is like the most incredible thing ever. If you don't know that my dad, half of you, I'm looking at the names. Most of you don't know me. So my dad got diagnosed with stage 4 lung cancer. I don't know. We found out about 7 months before he passed away. So he died in May. And it was very, very advanced, very advanced. So I moved. Something that I would have never been able to do was move from Connecticut to South Carolina, number 1. Number 2, when we found out my dad was sick, we were living in South Carolina. So it takes us about 14 hours in a car to get back to Connecticut. I can truly tell you guys that I spent more time with my dad when he was sick, living 14 hours away, than I would have if I still lived in Connecticut and was working my full-time job. There is no way I would have spent the same amount of time with him, even if I was still living in Connecticut. And that's unbelievable. So when he got sick, we were in Connecticut. And then the holidays came. So my dad's birthday is November 27th, like right before Thanksgiving. So last year we were able to not only cover our bills and everything here in Myrtle Beach, but we packed up the dogs, we packed up what we needed, and we rented a condo for like 2.5 months in Connecticut for all of November, December, and like half of January. So we were able, that's what we get to do. We can work from anywhere. And the sacrifices I made back then paid off now, because you never know what's going to happen. Like, life is always going to happen. We would have never known my dad was sick. Like, I'm genuinely not kidding. A year, like to date, year and 1 day or something before my dad died, he was literally doing a keg stand at a party at Emily Worsing's house. Like, you would have never known my dad was sick. He was wild. We were like chest bumping because we were winning beer pong and stuff. Like, it was just, you would have never known. And if it wasn't what I did back then to pay off when he was sick, I can't even imagine, like, I can't even imagine it. So we were able to go to Connecticut for 2.5 months, and I can't even tell you how many times I could probably own Spirit Airlines, because they're the only direct flight from Myrtle Beach to South Carolina. Myrtle Beach to Connecticut. I literally was on Spirit Airlines like every freaking week, just flying back and forth. I flew from conference to go see my dad to surprise him, and the next week I went back to see my dad. I spent so much time with that man. There was no way I could have spent any more time with him. And that's crazy to me, that I lived 14 hours away and I spent more time with him than if I lived in the same state. So that is something that's just like, there doesn't have to be anything else in the world that this has done for me, but provide me with all that time with him. So that's something that I've been able to do, is never have to stress about bills and always be able to be there when he needed. I remember I was hosting a bachelorette party here in Myrtle Beach. I came home from seeing my dad. It was right after conference. No, whatever. I came home, I was visiting him. I was home for 2 days, and my mom called and was like, you got to turn around and come back. I'm like, are you kidding? Like, I just got home. I had like 9 girls coming for a bachelorette party. Oh, this is pretty incredible. As I'm telling the story, it gets even better. So I was with my dad, came home for about 2 days. My mom was like, I think it's time, you have to come back home. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like, what am I going to do? I have 9 girls coming here. They're all staying in my house. None of them have even been here before to even know anything about my house. Like, but I got to go home. So I'm like, what do I do? You know what I did? I went online and I booked an Airbnb that fit 10 girls on the beach in Myrtle Beach. I paid for the whole thing. I texted the bride and I was like, I know this sucks, but I got to go home. And her and my dad were like this. I'm like, my dad's not good. I got to go home, but I got you guys a condo and you're all set. 3 nights, 4 days, paid for it. And she was like, what? Like, we could have canceled the whole trip and like, we could have went to the casino in Connecticut. I'm like, nope, I got you guys handled. Just go and have fun. So that was pretty incredible too. Also, my car got totaled at a wrap party once, and that was pretty devastating. So I was able to buy a new car and not have to worry about it. So that's another thing that I've done with this because of this business. I bought a Range Rover, so that was really cool. That's the car that I bought. Hate Range Rover. If you're ever thinking about getting one, don't do it. But it was really cool at the time. Okay, so I got to move. I got to spend all the time with my dad. I got to buy a car. I can't even, I can like, I don't even know.
Your wedding.
Paid for my wedding in cash. Paid for our honeymoon in cash.
Bought 3 houses.
My friend Rachel, she goes, Nicole buys houses like I change my socks. I'm like, okay, I need this. But it's not even bragging, guys. It's just I never even thought, like, I joined 4 years ago, but even 3 years ago, like, I would have never, if you told me 3 years ago I want to be practicing dental hygiene, I would have been like, yeah, okay, buddy. Like, I was so stuck in my ways. I worked so hard for my degree. There was no way. But when you start dreaming bigger and once you start seeing things that you didn't even mentally grasp, like, that's when life truly starts to change. And I would say the 5th thing that is incredible about this business, Mara Denning really pointed this out to me. The money is really, really cool. Doing shit, buying cars, buying houses, whatever, it's cool. But the quality of life you have when you are able to own your time and do what you want is undescribable. Like, the quality of life, you are just a better person. When I have chills, I actually have chills, because you go to work, even if you like your job, you have shitty days, it brings you down, you get home, you're like, oh my God, I gotta cook dinner and go to bed to do it all again. Even if you like your job, you're still like run down, you know what I mean? You're still working for someone else's dreams. The quality of work, or the quality of life you have when you own you and your boss doesn't own you anymore, that's the best part about this business, because you're a better person, you're a better wife, you're a better sister, you're a better mom, you're a better whatever daughter. I was a better daughter to my dad because of this business. So the quality of life that you get because you become a more positive, happy person. That's the best part of it all.
That's so true. I never heard Mira say that, but that's literally so true. Mm-hmm. So good. So good. Okay, so we're gonna let's see. Okay. So this is a big one. So I ask everyone this now because I hear people talk about this all the time, and I'm like, what does that actually mean though? Like, what does that mean to you? And everyone that I've asked, I always get a different answer. So what does casting a vision for your business and your team mean to you?
I missed this question when I was reading.
Sorry.
Oh, you're good.
We can go back to it.
What does say it again?
What does casting a vision for your business and your team mean to you?
Okay. Well, when it comes to casting a vision for my team, I always want every single person on my team, no matter what they look like, no matter where they live, no matter who they are, to realize that they can be in my shoes because I am no one special. I'm funny. Like, cool. I'm funny. Like, I had friends in high school because I was funny and whatever. But at the end of the day, I'm no one special. I wasn't like the popular girl. I wasn't anything like that. I was never under a size 8. Like, I was always, someone who struggled with how they looked and everything. And I just want everyone on my team to understand that they can be where I am. And so casting vision on my team to me means making every single person realize how important they are on the team. And it doesn't matter if you're Celeste and you're a presidential diamond, or you joined yesterday and you're a distributor, you're equally as important as Celeste or Heather or Christy or Britt or whoever is on my team and is killing it. Like, I want everyone to know they're important and everyone to know that they can be where I am, because I have no idea how I did it. I just put my head down. I was myself. I was stupid on my Instagram stories. Like, I don't try to be anyone else. If you guys follow me, I play Would You Rather on my Instagram stories, and it's a real lot of fun. And sometimes I come out with really weird ones where my friends are like, you should probably take that off Instagram because it's probably inappropriate. But that's just me. So casting vision on my team, I want everyone to know how important they are. I want everyone to know they could be where I am, and I want everyone to know that they can be weird and get to the top. But I'm also very, very big on having my team and myself set goals. Like, what do you want? And you need to be clear on it. Like, I want to be in the Millionaires Club by Conference 2021. And this sits here along with many other things, but I'm very clear on what I want, and I have my team very clear on what they want. So when they join, I always ask them their why. Like, everyone should know why they're working for this. And it doesn't matter. I always love stressing this. And this kind of comes back to you didn't have to be struggling all your life to be good at this, I guess. I don't care if your dream board has like tape and extensions are really expensive. So if you have tape and extensions on your dream board, that's what you want. That's something you're working towards. It doesn't have to be these big dreams where people are like, I want to pay my mom's mortgage and pay off all her student debts and whatever it is. Like, you don't have to have this big giant, this sounds crazy and maybe horrible, but you don't have to have this, I'm such a great person on my dream board. Like, you need to have what you want to accomplish. And I don't care if it's tape-in extensions and getting your nails done and buying Tory Burch sandals. Be selfish if you want to be selfish. If that's what you want in life, that's what you want in life. And there's no reason for me to tell you that's wrong. But you need to have a very clear vision of what you want, and not what society wants you to want, or not what Mark Pentecost wants you to want, because he's all, debt-free, 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 debt-free. You don't have to worry about paying all your family's debt off if that's not what you care about. You just want to sound like a better person saying it. You know what I mean? So casting vision, you just need to be very clear and just know that you're no different than me. You're probably less weird than me, which is probably a good thing. Like, you just need to know that you can do this. And I remind my team every single day. And that's I don't know, that's really it. Everyone is equally as important. Even if you didn't join yet, you're as important as Celeste is.
I love that. That's so good. See,
what did you say?
I said I love that.
Celeste yelled, yeah, and I'm very important.
Oh. Every time I ask this question, I get a different answer. So I just love asking because people talk about it all the time. Create a vision, cast a vision, talk about this, and it's like, what does that actually mean for you though when you're saying it?
Yeah, you need to have your own vision and then realize that you can be anything you want. And if you are not clear on your vision, you are going nowhere. What's that quote? I can't think of it, but if you are not,
goal without a plan is just a dream.
That's exactly it.
I know.
Wow, thanks. That one.
I got you.
You guys you just have to know what you're working for. And if you don't, then what are you working for? Like, make your background on your phone, what your dreams are, what your goals are. And I don't care if it's something that's so where if you told your mom, she'd be like, you're fucking crazy. Or if it's like, couldn't happen tomorrow. It doesn't matter. It's what you want and you will evolve with it. And that's what's going to happen. But you need to know what you want. And I could cast as much vision and make you feel as important as you are because everyone's important. But if you don't know what you're doing, then you don't know what you're working for.
Yep. So speaking of having the plan in place to get to your goals, what is the system you're using with the new charts?
Okay.
So I've heard you talk on Zooms about everybody getting 500. So like, I'm just curious, like when I heard you say that, I'm like, if I ever get this girl on a Zoom, I'm going to pick her brain about this.
Okay. So everyone needs to understand that if you know how to go Ruby, then you know how to go Ambassador. That's all any chart is multiple rubies. So if you know how to do Ruby, and you could do Ruby twice, and you could do Ruby 3 times and 4 times and 5 times, you are going to go Ambassador Diamond because it's nothing but a bunch of rubies. So for you guys, do I still have that chart pulled up? No. So you guys know what a Ruby chart looks like. It's you and then 3 people under you, right? Okay, to hit Ruby now, you need 2,000 GV. There might be some newbies. So GV is group volume. That means yourself, your PBV, which is personal bonus volume, your auto shipment, all of your personal customers, that plus the PBV of all the people under you, that is your GV. They are your group. So for you to go Ruby, you need 2,000 GV. How many people are on a Ruby chart? 4, because you're counting yourself. 4 divided by 2,000 is how many? 500. So if you have 500 PBV and this box has 500 and this box has 500 and this box has 500, you now have your 2,000. No one should ever look at a chart and say a 400 box ever again. 500 boxes across the chart. If you have a new distributor, and I'm sorry, if you're new, you're probably like, what? But if you've been in for a while and you know what a 400 box is, if you have a new distributor and you sign them up and you're like, okay, you got to go Ruby. So you got to be commission qualified and you need 400, 400, 400. They're short, like hundreds. Everyone needs to get 400 GV out of their head for a qualified leg, and it should be 500. And if you have 500, they have 500, 500, 500, you have your 2,000. And if you know how to go Ruby, you know how to go Ambassador. It is literally just a ton of rubies.
Now, when you're looking at a diamond chart, does it break down the same way, the math? 500, 500, 500?
Well, I'm thinking because at the end of the day, for someone under your diamond chart to hit 2,000 or to hit Ruby, they still need 2,000. So this is going to go, okay, so 2,000, 4.
So your emerald needs 5.
Yep.
And then your Ruby needs 2. That's 7. You need 8.
Mm-hmm. So when you're going up bigger, I mean, then yes. But you got to remember top lines.
Mm-hmm.
They're at 500. You know what I mean? It might be off 100 or 200. But if you're looking at that Ruby chart, every single Ruby chart, and every single person, every single box on your chart needs 500, you are going to be just about there.
Yeah. The new charts, man, I have a love-hate relationship with them.
Wait, I'm thinking about it. If your emerald needs 5, mm-hmm. and your Ruby needs 2,000 and your Ruby needs 2,000, that's 4. Wait, it all equals out.
Does it?
Yeah, your ruby, think of an emerald, you need 5,000. Your ruby needs 2,000, your ruby needs 2,000. You now have 4,000. Your top line needs 500 and you need 500 and you're at 5,000.
Oh yeah, touche. That's good. I haven't had anyone promote to diamond and above with the new charts. So
Mhm.
I haven't like really looked at it.
Wow, I just blew my own mind.
It is one of those things that it's like you look at it and sometimes explaining that to someone, it's a little confusing.
If you teach everyone,
you have to have 2,000, but there's only 3 people here.
500, your PBV's got to be 500, and getting your PBV up. Now, take this with a grain of salt. If you have fast starts, you get your fast starts done. You never miss if you are willing to miss a $100 fast start, that means you're willing to go to the bank and take $100 out and bring it to my front door and give it to me. Because there is no way you should ever miss a fast start bonus unless you're willing to give me $100, because I'll take the $100. Or if you're willing to throw it down the garbage or burn it or flush it, whatever, you should never miss a fast start bonus. So take that with a grain of salt. But when you have 500 PBV, your check is going to be higher. And when everyone's check is higher, everyone's more excited. So if you are teaching every single box on that chart to be at 500, you are effortlessly going to promote. Get 400 out of your head.
Love it. Love it. Love it. All right. Last couple questions. Trying to keep this right to an hour.
You're good.
Here we go. All right. What is your best tip for someone who is just getting started?
Ooh. I probably won't have just one, so I'll just start talking.
Right, give us a few. It's okay.
My best tip to someone that's just getting started is it's very easy to be put down, I guess. But you just need to listen to yourself, because at the end of the day, my mom was like, "What the did you just do?" She was like mad at me, and there's always going to be people that are going to put you down. My favorite saying in the world is opinions are like assholes. Everyone has one. So it doesn't matter anything in life. Like, have kids before you get married or after you get married. Guess what? Someone's got something to say. You don't want kids or you do want kids. Guess what? Someone's got something to say. You get married or you're just dating for your entire life. Guess what? Someone's got an opinion. Like, you're never going to do everything right for someone. You just need to realize this is your life and it's okay. Someone's going to tell you it's a scam. Someone's going to tell you you got scammed and you're not going to make any money. And it is up to you to make the decision to say, you know what? No, there are people killing it in this business. My biggest tip to new distributors is don't let anyone get in your head except for yourself. Put your head down, because there is so much money to be made. It's not even funny. And if you let someone that's not paying your bills or someone that you wouldn't trade places with dictate your future, you are crazy. If you are listening to your friends that are still in college and have negative $4 in their bank account and sit at home, go to class, and then go home and smoke weed and play video games, you better not take their damn advice. If you would not trade places with the person that is telling you something, then you should not, I'm not saying discredit your family and stuff, but you need to realize, okay, maybe since they're not making the best decisions, maybe I shouldn't listen to them. You know what I mean? So, okay. Drive safe. Love you. Okay. So just make sure that you are not letting anyone get in your head except for you. Another big piece of advice when you're new, latch on to people in this business. You need to be around like-minded people. And some people are not going to, can you explain what a fast start bonus is? I think I just got, yes, I will. Hold on, let me confirm that that's what I said. Yes, I will. I'll explain what a fast start bonus is because they're freaking lit. But if you're super new, oh crap, what was I saying? Don't
latch on to people in this business.
Latch on to people. Okay. It's okay. You're going to hang out with your friends and they're going to be like, you're always on your phone. Like Nyara, I remember when she first started this, her mom was like, Nay, you are always on your phone. You're not even really present with us when you're here. And Nay was like, Mom, I need you to understand this. It's either I'm here and I'm on my phone or I'm not here and I'm at work. So would you rather me here or would you rather me at work? And that blew my mind. So your friends, it's okay. They're not going to really get it. But latch on to people that you want to work with. When I started hanging out with Nay, Emily, Lindsay, Danielle, like everyone who was local, it literally was a game changer. I was like, holy shit, Cassie is 5 years. I have chills. Cassie is 5 years younger than me and making, she's not 5 years younger than me. She's 3 years younger than me. Settle down, Nicole. She was making so much more money than me, and I was still working dental hygiene. When you start working with people with the same mindset and the same goals, you will take over together. And it's okay that you don't all live close, because guess what? These are all faces from across the United States and possibly different countries. You don't need to live local to people, because you can do this. I used to freaking FaceTime with Cassie until like 4 a.m. and she was like Beyonce. So I like didn't want to get off. I would be like, again, sacrificing sleep to do things that I wanted. We would stay up all night and work together over FaceTime. So guys, make friends with people, get on Zooms, get on trainings. There is nothing more important than doing that, because all it takes is one person's story. I might not have done it for you tonight, but next Monday when you have another Zoom with whoever, that might do it for you. You might hear one story and just be like, oh my gosh, that's me. Or, oh my gosh, that's my sister. Like whatever. Make sure you're staying relevant and staying in on these groups, because that's gonna be huge for you. Okay, let me talk about a Fast Start really quick. Fast Start bonus is the best and the quickest way to make money with this business. So when you personally sign up a distributor, you help them get fast started. You help them get jump started really quick into the business. So what that means is help them get commission qualified in their first 30 days. So you want to help them get a minimum of 2 loyal customers. That's going to equal 150 PBV. Sometimes it takes 3 customers. Sometimes it takes 4 or 5. It depends on what you sell. But when you help them get a minimum of 2 loyal customers and 150 PBV in their first 30 days, you make a $100 Fast Start bonus. And they are unlimited. So if you sign up 5 distributors a month, you're going to make 5 and help them get jump started. You have to help them. If you don't help them do anything, you don't make any money, right? Because we don't make money unless we help other people make money. That's why we're not a scam. Because I don't make money off of just signing someone up. If I don't help them be successful, I'm not making anything, right? So if you sign up 5 distributors a month and help them get jump started, you're going to make $500 in bonuses on top of your commissions. If you sign up 10 distributors a month, you're going to make $1,000 in bonuses on top of your commissions. 15 distributors a month, you're going to make $1,500 in bonuses on top of your commissions. You guys get the point, right? That's why you need to be very vocal about the business opportunity you have, because you can change so many lives. And if you are not talking about it, then you are not ever going to make these Fast Start bonuses. I made a $900 Fast Start bonus last week. That was incredible. Whenever I got that email, my heart literally went in my feet. I helped 9 people in 1 week get jump started and be successful. And I see a lot of their faces on here. So hi guys, love you all. Like
how many fees do you average a month? Do you sign more customers or more distributors?
I would say I'm more of a distributor enroller, because
what do you average usually? $900 in Fast Starts. I know one of the girls on here, her like on her dream board is to get a 4-figure Fast Start week.
Oh, heck yeah. Heck yeah. That's awesome. Same. I'm going to add that. You're on. Whoever that is, you're on. I would say I average I would say 15 is a good number for me. And that's hard work, guys. Like helping 15 people, you're running 15 businesses for the first couple of months.
Yep.
You know, 5-ish and stuff like that's a good number. You have a lot of time that you can focus on those people. So don't feel like, you know, sometimes signing up less. I know Katie Bevington, she's top 20 right now. She only signs up 10 distributors a month. Like when she makes posts saying I have 3 more spots, she has only 3 more spots, because she says if I sign up more than 10 distributors, I cannot give them the time and the effort and the training that they need to be successful. And at the end of the day, I want 10 successful people versus 15 non-successful people.
That's so good.
So, you know, I sign about I would say about 15 is like a good number for me. And when it comes to customer enrollments, I don't have a massive customer enrollment. Like I get on Zooms and they're like, I signed up 75, and I'm like, okay, cool. I don't sign up
this month.
I don't sign up that many, but I always work on signing bigger customers. So
do that with your before and afters.
Mm-hmm. And that's where
having your own results is so important. I'm just going to throw that out there real quick.
So important. If you do not have your auto shipment,
my customers are always between 90 and 120 BV because I lost 50 something pounds after I had my son last year, and I can sell the ish out of some keto coffee triple threat. Okay.
Okay. If you guys
sell them with the cleanse and like, boom, like you sign up for those and you just filled a qualified leg box.
A $500.
$500.
I love that you said that because I cannot stress an auto shipment enough. It is not required, but boy, is it highly recommended. You join this business to make money. Think of this. If you went to a restaurant and you asked your waiter what their favorite meal was, and the waiter was like, oh, I don't eat here. I've actually never had any food here. You'd be like, what the, why? We need to leave, right? You cannot be like all over social media about these awesome products. And when someone is like, well, what have you tried? You're like, oh, none of them actually. Actually, never tried anything. Like, I'm good. No, you guys need to be a product of the product. And I don't care if you have 10 pounds to gain. Guess what? We are not just weight loss products. Do skincare. Celeste is like a size 0. She has the best skincare results I've ever seen. Her face was all broken out, and now she has the clearest skin ever. So it doesn't have to be weight loss. Get out of the mindset that we only have weight loss. Be a product of the product. Get your auto shipments on. I cannot stress that enough. If you run an 80 BV auto shipment, you are not only guaranteeing yourself a paycheck, but guess what? Your 500 PBV has now decreased by 80. It's just a no-brainer, and it's a write-off, and you guys, it's a business expense. Get your auto shipments on and try new things each month. But if you buy something, you're like, this is my jam. Like celery juice right now, where have you been all my life? Like I will never stop taking celery juice. So if you find what you love, then make that your auto shipment every single month. But if not, change it around and try new things, because when you have personal results, you will sell them. I always say I could sell like celery in the cleanse to the tree in my damn backyard because I'm so excited about it and I love it so much. If you are not using the products, you'll be able to talk about them and be like, yeah, they're cool. But when you're using them, I'm like, dude, I don't know where celery's been. Like, this is my, like, you want to try it? Come on in. I'm like calling kids in like I'm in a van.
Sip and sample.
I'm like, hey, little kid, come try the celery juice. Like, I love it. I want to tell everyone about it. So when you love the product, you're just going to talk about it easier. So get those auto shipments on. I can't even stress that enough.
Yep. Dude, I say I've ran an auto ship every single month since I started 4.5 years ago, and I run one for my husband every month on his account. So,
side note, this was an aha moment that from a Zoom I did the other day. If you guys are not running for this Margaritaville trip, you got to get out of the mindset that you won't be there because you don't have a lot of points. They are bringing 15 people that aren't in the top 300 point earners.
25.
So how many?
25.
25, even better. 25 people that are not in the top 300 point earners. So you can have 10 points right now and still have your chance to get there. So don't think, oh, I have no chance. I shouldn't even run my 125 BV auto shipment. I shouldn't even be focusing. You can be there. 25 people they're going to bring that aren't in those point earners. That is huge. So get to work because, anyone can be on this trip.
Literally anyone. Just like side note on that. So Gabby Negretti, also from Connecticut, a couple years ago, they did a $1 million giveaway.
Oh my God, I remember that like yesterday.
Was it $1 million or 100,000?
I think it was $1 million. Wasn't there 100?
10,000 winners. Gabby Negretti from a little ass town in small ass Connecticut won 10 grand. Got deposited into her bank account December 15th with her commissions, free and clear, 10 grand, because she had like 2 entries or something like that. Like, guys, anybody, like literally anybody.
I remember that.
Okay. Yeah, that was insane when that happened. Okay, last two questions. So we went over big tips for newbies. What is your best tip for someone who has been in for a while and is just not catching that momentum to climb through the ranks?
I would literally tell you, first off, have a dance party. That's my number one thing. Like,
you can be red too. It's okay.
you gotta get off this and just realize that it's okay if you have to like start from square one. Like if you're looking at a chart full of people that aren't working, it's okay. Like just act like you just joined. Get off this, put on your favorite song, have a little dance party, get out of your own head, and just start from square one and start, again, going to people that you want to be like and mimicking their Instagram, and just realizing that it doesn't matter if you've been in this for 10 years, like you can restart and you can have a whole new mindset. Watch The Secret. I can't stress that enough. If you have not watched The Secret like 100 times, you need to watch it. The Secret on Netflix. It will change your life.
Still on Netflix. And also, if you can't get it on Netflix, if you don't have Netflix, you guys can watch it for free on YouTube. It has Chinese subtitles, but you can watch it.
Watch The Secret 100 times. I watch it all the time. I could probably recite the whole thing, and every time I watch it, it helps me. When my dad was really sick and I was always like grumpy and mad at the world, like I would throw The Secret on and I'd enroll a customer, and then I'd start feeling better. If you've been in this for a while, you just gotta pick yourself back up and start from square one if you have to. If you hate all the posts you've been doing, whatever, delete them, start from square one. Like, it doesn't matter. Just get out of your own head and just realize that if it takes you 40 years to make $1 million or 4 years to make $1 million, you still made $1 million. So there's no timeline on success. Just because Cassie did $1 million in 3 years doesn't mean $1 million in 30 is a bad thing, because you still made $1 million. So don't give up. You haven't given up yet. So that is huge. And I applaud you and I give you so much credit for that. If you feel like you've been spinning your wheels and not getting anywhere, but you're still on this Zoom and you're still here, you are awesome. You have done the biggest part of the work right there, not giving up on yourself, because you know the potential you have and you know what's in the future. It's just kind of getting out of that mindset. Throw on The Secret. And when you truly start believing that, like, people are lined up at your door waiting for this business opportunity and waiting for these products, everything's going to start changing. And once you start enrolling one customer, it's like an enrollment high. You're like, oh, I want the next one. And your endorphins, you're just going to be so happy. So I applaud you for not giving up already. Keep going. And if you have to start from square one, whoever you enrolled with, if you're like, I don't know what to do anymore, be like, train me like I'm a new distributor. Train me like I just joined right now, and just restart. I tell people that all the time on my team. If you need to restart, we can restart. I will send you the training video again, if that's what you want to do. And that's okay. It doesn't matter, because as long as you restart, you didn't quit.
Preach it. I love that. And I'm glad you talked about The Secret, because that leads me right into this last thing. Guys, I want you to drop your aha moments here in the chat, because I've had like so many of them tonight. But real quick, let's just run down your 5 favorite books, podcasts, audibles, YouTube videos, whatever it is, your 5 favorite things, like go-to personal development.
So You Are a Badass at Making Money is my number one. That she just speaks to me. Jen Sincero, she is great. She has a few. There's You Are a Badass at Making Money, You Are a Badass Every Day. Like, there's a ton of them. But You Are a Badass at Making Money just really gets me because it is okay. Going back to me growing up and, being gifted, I guess, with awesome parents. I remember a few years ago, my brother, I was probably in high school. My brother was given a snowmobile from my parents, a brand new snowmobile for Christmas. And my friend got so aggravated because my brother got a snowmobile. And she was like, you guys are so spoiled. This is ridiculous. Like, she was mad that my brother got a snowmobile for Christmas. And it made me realize maybe like being wealthy is a bad thing. Like maybe if it makes people feel like that, like maybe it's a bad thing. And that book will help you change your mindset. It makes you realize that people with money aren't gross. Like, what does she say in the book? Where if someone drives by you in like a beat down car and they cut you off, you're like, oh, asshole. If someone drives by you and cuts you off and they're in a Lamborghini, you're like, you rich prick, you don't know anything. Like, you're pissed because they drive such a nice car. You're so mad because they're rich, right? Like, why do we think like that? And that book is going to help you get out of that mindset, because I bet a lot of you aren't as successful as you could be because you are scared what other people are going to think when you're rich. That book is what you need to hear. And I don't read. I do not read. I do audibles. I cannot read. I'm very bad at reading. I audible everything. I listen to it. When you're listening to audibles or YouTube or whatever, you want to really listen to it when you're going to absorb it, when you're driving a car, when you're in the shower. Because when I'm sitting on the couch and I'm working, like, yeah, I get little bits of pieces, but I'm working and I'm doing whatever. When you're in the shower, you're just like, you're not thinking about anything. You're listening to what it's saying. So listen at really good points when you literally have nothing else to do but listen. You are a badass, Jensen Cheryl. I like when people yell at me and swear at me. So Gary Vee on YouTube is my man. I like when he, tells you to shut the F up and get out of your head and blah, blah, blah. If you do not like that, then Rachel Hollis is pretty good, but still being easy. But Gary Vee is my dude. I'm trying to look at my bookshelf, but I don't really read them. So
they just sit there and look pretty.
No, literally.
It's fine. I have a bookshelf like that too.
I'm trying to think of what else. I just love The Secret. I can't. That should take up like 3 spots alone.
The Secret is number one. I'm typing
The Secret. You need to listen to it. Honestly, I would say at least once a week.
Can I ask you a question? Okay, so there's like The Secret, and then there's like The Secret by like Ernest, whatever the hell his name is. You know what I'm talking about? And it's like not The Secret that's on Netflix. It's like a different secret, and it's like 7 years ago. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No, I don't.
Oh my God. Okay. Well, everyone talks about, I think it's like Ernest Nightingale.
I was going to say, is it like Nightingale or something?
Yes. And everyone talks about it. And dude, like yes, The Strangest Secret. Dude, I cannot get into it. It starts and it's like 7 years ago, blah, blah, blah. Like that's what it reminds me of. I feel like I'm like listening to like something from the 1800s speaking, and like, I just can't. I was going to ask if you ever listened to it and like how you felt about it. Yeah, see.
But I will tell you.
You don't need to listen to that to go presidential, okay?
I will tell you, if you have not seen The Secret yet, if you're watching this and you have not seen it, don't turn it on and be like, yeah, there's no way I could watch this, because it's documentary style. It's not
you're
like.
You're going to think that when you turn it on, yes. You're going to be like, what the is this? That
it's not like
watch.
It was made in 2018. It's an older documentary style, but it will change your life and it will change your mindset. Watch it once a week. That should be on your non-negotiables, to watch The Secret once a week.
Non-negotiables. What are your non-negotiables?
Okay, my non-negotiables. I like to wake up early now. It's a crazy thing for me, but I like to wake up early, so my non-negotiable now is being up by 8 a.m., which you guys might laugh at. That's not early. I know. I don't have kids. But I like to be up earlier than that, but 8 a.m. is like my latest. That's a non-negotiable for me. And it doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be like a specific task. Like that is something that I want to do every single day. You guys, don't overthink what your non-negotiables are. Self-development, I like to listen. I don't listen to too many books. Oh, Pam Sauter's podcast is great because most of the stuff I listen to or read or whatever is not It Works related. And that's when I bring in the It Works related part of it. Pam Sauter's.
Have you ever listened to, oh my gosh, what's her name? I can't think of her name, but her podcast is called, She's Here For It. Oh my God, why can't I think of her name?
Nope.
Have you ever listened to Abby Kappa? Have you ever listened to the She's Here For It podcast?
No, but I'm here for it.
Girl, listen to it. It's literally like amazing. She's a top money earner with another network marketing company. She doesn't talk about her company at all, but she is like down in the nitty gritty of like all things network marketing, and it is freaking amazing.
Heather, is that what you played on your power hour the other day, or was that something different?
The strangest secret. I can't.
I feel like that might have been what Heather was playing the other day. If it was, then yes, I've listened to her.
She's amazing.
Oh no,
Babe, I've listened to her too.
So yeah, because Pam Sutter's podcasts are really good because it's obviously, you know, people that you want to be like, and you get to hear their different aspects. So that's really good.
Yeah. All right. I'm not going to keep you on here for any longer. I know it's late. I'm like, my bladder is going to explode. I drank like this huge ass thing while we were on here. I'm like, okay, I'm going to get this up on my YouTube. Thank you so much for hopping on with us tonight. This was so, so good. I know like I already have like people that are texting me and being like, oh my God, this is fire. So I'm super excited. I know my team's fired up. I'm sure everyone else that is on here is fired up and just ready to go like kill the end of this year. So thank you so, so much. I super appreciate it. And, I'll get you this recording if you want to send it to your team or.
Sounds good.
I'll send it to you. All right. Good night, guys.
Awesome. Bye, guys.